It was a busy day on the labor front as members of the doctors union took to Bay Street to protest their dissatisfaction.
Our Jared Higgs tells us that the action comes on the heels of that union rejecting a contract put forth by Public Hospitals Authority.
The 7 laps the doctors and their allies made around Rawson Square were meant to have biblical connotations. Rejecting a contract offer from the Public Hospitals Authority late yesterday afternoon, approximately 100 doctors walked off their jobs at the Princess Margaret Hospital and marched to Rawson Square. President of the Doctors Union, Arthur Clark, spoke to the press.
This walk to Cabinet is precipitated on the lethargic approach by the Bahamas government to what I would say is or what we would like to say is a palatable financial proposal. Indeed, a proposal was submitted on our email no longer than 4:30 yesterday afternoon. But speaking for myself, I think it's an insult because I would have to work 5 years for $200 to be added on my salary each month. All right? That is what they want to do to us as professionals. Today, we say no.
It is claimed that interns are reportedly paid $27,000 per year, but work as many as 90 hours per week. Another grievance of the union stems from the employment of Cuban doctors. Clark says some Bahamian doctors trained in Cuba with the same qualification are still jobless.
Here we have up to 15 Bahamians who for about 15 years, as I said, have not been able to find work in their own country. Yet, the statement of this government is we believe in Bahamians. If that is so, show us at this time, just like you engaged those Cubans, we challenge you today. Immediately engage these Bahamians today.
Joining in solidarity with the doctors were the leadership of several unions, including Customs and Immigration, Air Traffic Controllers, and Water and Sewerage Corporation. President of the Trade Union Congress, Obie Ferguson, says the unions he represents are always on call.
When the president of the doctors union say come, we will come. I don't want you to be afraid of them other people who talking a whole bunch of nonsense. You are doctors, you are professional, I'm a lawyer. You expect me to work for those kind of dollars? You got to be out of your mind.
Clark says despite their anger, striking is currently not an option. The Doctors Union president says the resolution of issues such as overtime and holiday pay are tantamount to his members. Jared Higgs, ZNS Network News.
Meanwhile, the Director of Labor, Robert Farquharson, says there's no formal trade dispute filed by the Bahamas Doctors Union at the Labor office.
He said he was surprised on hearing about the demonstration as he had just spoken with the union president overnight.
I spoke to the president of the union, Dr. Clark, last night on a different matter, and he obviously didn't give me any indication that there was a problem regarding the situation. I know for a fact that the government of the Bahamas and the Bahamas Doctors Union have been involved in discussions for the past few months, trying to come to an agreement for a new collective bargaining agreement. I know for a fact that the lead consultant for the government would have submitted the economic proposals to the union on yesterday evening sometime. I know for a fact that a meeting was scheduled for this morning for both sides to begin to look at the possibility of finalizing all of the outstanding matters of the collective bargaining agreement.
Continuing with news from labor, post office workers also marching to Rawson Square protesting working conditions. Led by Public Services Union President John Pinder, the employees protested for a second time this month. They say the ceiling is still falling, rodents have taken over, and mold is a big problem. Well, a team from Environmental Health was at the building today putting measures in place to address the rodent problem. We understand that plans are underway to relocate those workers to the town center mall.